So we had the Miami Heat against the New York Knicks in Miami. Miami, of course, closing in on the Nets in the standings, so they need this win against the Knicks. And beautiful splash from Gabe Vincent, who was on one in the first quarter. But it was more about the Knicks in this first quarter, where they created some turnovers and got off to a break. Julius Randle throws it down. He misses a free ball here, but the Heat did play one hell of a game here, as Jimmy Butler was just, man. Jimmy Butler in big games is always something, and he hits the stare down free ball in Julius Randle's face after not defending him. Another fadeaway from Jimmy, not even looking at it, man. The boy was cooking. I mean, when Jimmy is going, he's so fun to watch, man. He really is, and he needs to do this more often in the regular season, but man, Bam Adebayo with the putback dunk, god damn. Despite all of the Heat praise, the Knicks, of course, have that dog in them and that fight in them, and Josh Hart, the all-star role player, ties the game, gives the Knicks the lead there, but after they tie the game and the Heat went on a great run here with Max Strus hitting the free ball here as the Heat lead by 9, and Tyler Hero hits the incredibly tough fading free ball from the corner, and unfortunately the Knicks just didn't have enough in them today, especially offensively, as they had 16 turnovers, and that was just way too many against this Heat team, man. It's just too much, and especially with the way the Heat were shooting. They were 16 of 28 from the 3-point line, which is, for their inconsistent shooting, just too great, right? They have been really, well, not only inconsistent, but a rough three-point shooting team, but tonight they were just on one, man. Everyone pretty much shot well except for Kevin Love when you think about it, but he still made 2 of 6, which is not horrible. Jimmy made 2 free balls, right? Tyler Hero was 4 of 7 even. Max Strus 3 of 4, 11 of 19 for Jimmy Butler overall. 35 points, 9 assists, 4 steals, just 1 turnover. What a night from him. Caleb Martin had himself also a solid night. Kyle Lowry off the bench with 14 points. He played really well, which was cool to see. Max Strus, one of his best games. Man, I thought he could be a 6th Man of the Year candidate at the start of the season. I really thought that, man. But, like I said, so inconsistent. So goddamn inconsistent. But tonight was one of the good nights. And when he's good, he's really good. Tyler Hero with 22. He had one hell of a night also. Just everyone stepped up, man. They were locked in. They knew they needed the game. They knew they needed to be right there with the Nets, put even more pressure on the really struggling Nets for that 6th seed. And they did. They just did. Truly an incredible night from them. What kept the Knicks in the game was the size and the rebounding. They out-rebounded the Heat, which was essentially countered the turnovers, but in the end the turnovers proved to be too much, and also the fouling, right? The fouls were just relentless from both sides. But the Knicks overall had 25 fouls, which is just too much. And Jalen Brunson had 25. He looked really good. I mean, overall the starters were really good for the Knicks. The bench just wasn't there except for Josh Hart, who played really well in his minutes, but unfortunately quickly Hartenstein, Toppin and McBride McBride played 26 seconds, so I'm not going to put it on him, but Toppin, Hartenstein and Quickly, they all played not great, not good at all, which just doesn't help when those are your bench players, right? You need something more, and with the way especially the Heat were playing. But the starters of the Knicks played really well still. Randle had a off night in a way, but R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes and Jalen Brunson did pick up the slack for him. And unfortunately, it just wasn't enough today. The defense is just not as good as it was in the year they made the playoffs, right? This year it's more about the offense, which, I mean, speaks for itself also, right? But the defense is just not to the level you would expect a Tom Thibodeau team to be, right? And it cost them tonight. But at the same time, the Heat made some tough shots, man. It's always, I keep repeating this, and I know people that actually, if some people actually watch some more videos of me and get to these talks where I just spitball about the players and about my thoughts and blah, I always say, always both sides of the story, right? And it's always somewhere in the middle. Usually it's not just that there is good defense, but there is also bad offense at the part. There is some defensive pressure put on, but at the same time the player sometimes just has an off night. Whether it is due to the defensive pressure or due to just him not having the legs, not having the night, sometimes you just don't have it in you. And it's a really intriguing, not sure if psychological study is the right word, but you wonder how much does the defense actually do to you, right? And of course you sometimes you just know, you just see when a player is bothering the other player and the other player starts forcing or just can't even get too many shots up. And tonight Jimmy Butler got the better of Julius Randle for sure, man, for sure. And yeah, that was not even my point about it, but when I, sometimes when I spitball here, it's to just clear my mind and talk about things that sometimes don't even pop out when I, write down some thoughts about the games and everything. But I felt like Jimmy Butler really got the better of Julius Randle in the mental area today. And that's huge, man. That's always huge, man, when you can get even a mental advantage against the other team. And I mean, taking care of your mental no matter where is hard, man. And we all have some egos, some prides, right? And some unresolved stuff, and it shows up sometime even on the basketball court, which is why I love basketball, man. It's all about everything. It's just like life, man. Ups and downs, some beautiful moments. Oh man, I'm getting too emotional here. Thankfully, not many people actually do watch these outro segments or however you want to call them, but yeah, thank you for anyone who actually listens to me just sometimes put my heart out, sometimes talk absolute nonsense, sometimes actually talk some real analytical stuff and some actual defensive and offensive, not sure if analytical is the right word, but some actual X and O's, right? And yeah, appreciate everyone, man. Love you all.